Okay, so first of all, before I start everything, I want to tell you about an announcement that's going to be very, very soon. So we are on episode 399, and the next episode will going to be 400 episodes, which I went like every day on live and videos. And the next one is going to be the 400. It's coming a special guest that will be on the show, and wait for it because this person is amazing on in the marketing industry, and he's going to show how he made a huge success. So wait for it. That will be for the next episode. But right now, how can we live with no regrets? How can we actually make things happen, and not when we will be old, like 80, 90, and then we'll think about life that, damn, I feel like I regret everything. And we don't want that to happen, right? So, I wanted to share with you a personal story of mine, of what happened to me, and maybe I will go for another one. But I want to share with you a very personal one. And basically, I don't know if you know, but I got injured while I was in the army 9 years ago. And while I got injured, I got a syndrome that's called CRPS syndrome. It's a chronic regional pain syndrome that inflicts pain into the section that got hurt. In my case, it was my leg. So I'm going with crutches, and for the past 9 years, it's kind of a battle going on to keep on going until I will go and walk again. So what happened is, a few times, not once, not twice, doctors told me, cut your leg off. And I say, fuck that. I'm not going to cut my leg off. I'm going to fight my leg. Because what will happen if I cut my leg? I will regret it for the rest of my life. I thought about it the second the doctor suggests cut off your leg. Like, that's the quickest solution, kind of, if you will. But actually, it's not, because the chances of getting the same syndrome when you cut your leg off is 50-50. So fuck that. I'm going to fight on my leg no matter what. And I start to fight over it. And yeah, it will sound very, very, I don't know, different, or maybe you couldn't understand the concept when I'm talking about that inflicts pain in the section that, let's say, a wind is painful like hell. So it took me 2 years to put a sock, 2 years to put a shoe, 2 years to get inside the water, I kid you not. And now I'm starting to progress in a way that I'm starting to walk. Now, I'm not saying here that you will feel sorry or that you will feel like, hey, what is going on here? Or way to go, yeah. No, I don't give about a crap about this. I want you to get inspired for that, to go with what you believe and have no regrets. Because if you will do that specific action, think about the future if you will regret it deeply. If you won't do that, will you regret it? If you don't do the business that you want to, will you regret it? If you stay at the same crappy job that you are, will you regret it? Think about those things in your life that if you stay there, how are you suffering now? And if you will regret it, if you will keep staying at the same lane. So that's why I share that story with you. And it was very hard for me for years to even talk about it, because for me it was like a huge deal, like even to speak about it. But I really wanted to share that with you, and I hope that story can inspire you to do some action that will change your life. And I want to share with you a little more story. I know it will be a bit a long video, but stay with me, bear with me here. I promise you, you will have the tools to actually how you can go with life with no regrets. I will simplify it with 3 simple steps. So wait for it. Now, the other story I want to go with you is when I did a year of service before I went to the army. I decided to dedicate a year that I will go and volunteer in places. So one of the places was a nursery home where there were a lot of elderly people, and I remember those two people that affect my life really, really hard, and very, very intensive. So those 2 people that affect me the most, not the most, but one of the people that really infect me was those 2 people. When I was in the nursery home, I talked with them, and I talked with one and on the first day, and he was around 70, 75, and we sat down, and in our conversation we got to that he regrets that he didn't do enough, that he stayed at a crappy job. Yeah, that crappy job gave him tons of money, but he didn't had any connection with the family, with his one mom, with his father, with his brothers, with his kids, and he regretted deeply because nursery home, but he regret the life that he never had because he'd stay at the same place. He wanted to build a business, and he didn't do that because he was too afraid of it, and now he regret it, and he's 75. At that time, it was 10 years ago. And the other person, I remember him very, very vividly. When I remember I sat down and waited for him to come down because we arranged a meeting that we will sit together. And I remember him running across the room like crazy, like a maniac, with so much energy, with a smile on his face. He was just shining out there. Sorry for that. It was amazing to see this person, this elderly person that behaved like that with so much energy. And he talked how much passion he have in his life, even while he is, and wait for it, he is 95. He was 95 at that time. He was 95 at that time, and he did marathons. He still was in his business because he loved what he did. He loved what he's doing, and he stayed in touch with the family. He is a stinky rich, but he loved what he's done. He loves the action. He loves what he's doing. He lived with passion and with no regrets. He told me, yeah, I regret a few things in my life, but I feel more alive than ever every day, every single day, because I did what I always wanted to do. Make my own business, be with my family as well, be free financially. And it was so amazing to see that person. And he was 95. He was more alive than the one that was 75. He did marathons in his 95 old age. And he was on covers and everything because he fucking did it. And that was the moment that, bam, I don't want to live my life with regrets. So as long as I kept on keep on learning on self-development and keep on with my obstacles, with my leg, with my health issues. So what happened is I came down to 3 simple steps that you can implement right now, actually, to start grow, to start taking the actions that you want to take and feeling no regrets with what you're doing. So those 3 simple steps. The first one is ask yourself, really sit down, imagine for a second, close your eyes. And if you're on the road, don't close your eyes, okay? But if you're sitting down, close your eyes right now and imagine yourself 90 years old. Imagine yourself sitting on a chair, I don't know, next to a fireplace, and your grandkids ask you, hey, Grandpa, What have you done for your life? Are you happy from what you lived? Would you say hell yeah, or would you say no, I lived a crappy old life, being at a job that I hate, and just make life, just living the day? Or you can say, fuck yeah, I did everything that I wanted. I lived my life to the fullest. I lived my passions. I did everything that I wanted to do. Everything. So that's the first step. Imagine yourself that you are 90 and ask yourself, are you going to be happy with what you're doing right now? Right now, are you happy with that? What exactly you want from life? What exactly do you want to do? That's the first step. Remember, second step, what will happen if you don't act now? What will happen if you don't act now? Let's say you want to create your own business and you say to yourself, what happens if I won't make that business happen? What will happen if I don't start promote my business? If you already have a business, what will happen if I don't create a new course, the new masterclass, the new content? What will happen if I stay put at the same spot? If the answer is nothing is going to happen, something is clearly wrong, and you should go and ask yourself, why the hell are you doing what you're doing? And maybe you need to switch something. But ask yourself, what will happen if I won't act now? So anchor that answer after you imagine yourself when you're 90 years old, and now what will happen if you don't act? How will you feel? What will happen? How do you see yourself in the mirror? Really see that vividly and anchor that inside, because when we anchor that, it's kind of the emotion that we don't want to be, and the place that, fuck, I don't want to be here anymore. I want to change something. I want to create that change. When we are at that place, because sometimes it's a bit evil to say, but sometimes we need to feel some pain in order to make a change. Because most of the time it's when we are in the lowest point, we start to do something. Because we say, fuck that, I don't want to feel that anymore. I don't want to be at that place. And if you ever had that feeling and you did something and changed that, you know you can do that. And I believe you can do that, because you're here, you're listening, you're doing, you're acting. That means you want that change and you're creating that change. So I believe in you, and I know you can fucking do it. So after you ask those two questions, the third one is taking action. Don't wait up for everything to happen. If you are procrastinating on a thing that you procrastinate for a long time, if it's creating your own business, if it's putting out more content out there, if it's creating a new course, a new masterclass, a new workshop, whatever it is, going exercise, whatever it is that you postpone the most that can affect your life, do that first thing on the morning. You heard me right. First thing on the morning. Why it's important? Because when we wake up, our mind kind of reset, and that's the time the mind is clear. That's the time the mind don't understand what is going on. And when you hit it with a thing that you procrastinate the most, you're getting the most result, because you are just waking up with a ton of energy and you're ready to do that. Does that make any sense? If it does, let me know in the comment below, makes sense, or hashtag replay, that I know that it makes sense to you. And what is the action that you're going to take today or tomorrow morning? What is the action that you're going to do? Comment below, make that accountability for yourself, make that commitment, and let's rise up together. Because when you shout it out loud, when you put it out there, you're increasing your chances to get what you want. So comment below, what is it that you want to get right now? What is the action that you're going to take? Comment below and let's make it happen. And thank you for being here. I really appreciate you for being here. Invest your time with me, going with me on that process. I really appreciate you for that. So thank you for that. And if you like this video, give me a thumbs up, that I know that you want more content of it. And if you're watching on YouTube, just hit the subscribe button to never miss out an episode. And have an amazing and productive day. And I will see you next time. That was live on my group.